Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else watching at home. It's Greg Batten in the commentary box. I'll be joined by Lee Clough as well, and we're about to watch the first round of the Supreme Masters, event number 3, played to black ball rules. And this is a matchup between Karl O'Donoghue and David McNamara. It promises to be a pretty exciting match, both very attacking players, so we'll sit back and look forward to it. So as I said, I'm joined in the commentary box by Lee Clough, and it was your birthday yesterday, mate. So did you? I seen on Facebook you hadn't been drinking or celebrating because you had this coming up. So quiet night, was it?
Yeah, quiet night indeed. Yeah, it was had a busy day, and obviously playing at 10 o'clock this morning. I just took it easy. We just drove down last night and ready for the game this morning.
How long does it take you to get down there?
Last night was about an hour and 35 minutes.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, traffic was good after tea, but it has taken me 2 hours before, or over 2 hours. It depends what time you come.
Yeah.
Bit nearer than you, Greg.
Well, of course, you know David quite well. Does he play in the same club as you, or is he close at all?
No, he's about an hour from me.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He plays county pool for Cheshire. I'm Lancashire.
Okay.
I did play him at the last event, but yeah, I know him quite well, but not really well.
No.
We're not good friends or anything. We live in different towns. But yeah, very good player. Just probably just lacks a little bit of self-belief, I suppose. Chatting with Gaz Hibbert, who knows him well, at the last event, and he just said that Dave just tends to lack a bit of self-belief against the top players. Doesn't think that he can beat them maybe as regular as he could.
Yeah. It's probably one of the hardest things actually mentally in this game to try and, in your own mind, believe that you are, as good as everybody else, and like you say, especially the so-called top players.
Yeah, definitely. I probably fall a bit into that category myself, really. It's just about, the ball's deviating there off the triangle.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I definitely make an effort to try and get the triangle off as soon as I possibly can, because otherwise it is in your mind, even if it's subconscious, it's still there, and yeah, just get it off as soon as you possibly can.
I completely agree, yeah. Just get it off the table. I think some people, they don't even think about it. It just doesn't bother them, but that's all I can see.
I just know from watching, especially the first event, a couple of players play over the triangle, and it has deviated or it's moved, and you just think, well, you're sort of costing yourself, especially if it's close and everything else. Just get it off. Like now is a perfect opportunity just to take it off.
Yeah, but even before he played the shot, I think 2 shots ago, I don't think it was difficult to take it off then.
No. But then each to their own.
Yeah.
If anyone's got anything they want to ask myself or Lee, feel free to write into the chat box, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. So already, this is looking like quite an important finish. First frame of any match is extremely important. You never feel settled until you've got your first frame on the board, and nothing better to get yourself off to a good start mentally as well. Yeah, take out your first finish.
He's just landed slightly awkward there, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got to play this one on the left-hand side, because he offer the middle, the yellow nearest the middle offers the easiest position for the black. But this is a tester, especially bridging.
Yeah, awkward queuing, and it looks about a quarter ball cut.
Yeah.
No, he's taking the other one, so he's gonna have his work cut out to get on the black.
See, in my opinion, this is probably as hard, if not harder, than just rolling it in. He had a natural off the cushion, on and off the cushion. This is tough.
Yeah. I wonder whether has he got a window from sort of like from the green spot area to where he could pot the black, do you think?
Possibly.
Oh, he's gone all out anyway for the twice across. I'm not sure that was the right option.
That was really tough. And from what should have been, and nothing simple obviously, but what should have been a pretty routine finish, is he's gone missing, and Karl's got a chance to take control of this frame, possibly lay a snooker if he wants to. So how did you get on your first match? You won pretty comfortably, or was it quite close? Or
I wouldn't say it was comfortable. 11-7, I suppose, doesn't sound too bad, but it was. I think it was 6-all at one point, and the wheels were coming off a bit.
I know we spoke yesterday, just saying about commentating, obviously, and I know Jeremy reasonably well, and he is a solid player, knows his way around the table. I didn't see the match obviously because I was playing. Was it a scrappy game? Was it a good game?
It was. There was quite a few mistakes. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't that solid early on. I was 3-0 up, and I think he had first go every frame.
Yeah.
The break was killing me really, but I was getting away with it. I think my first 6 breaks, I'd had 3 in offs and a dry. I just couldn't get a go. But luckily, he messed up a few times.
Yeah.
So it meant that I was 6-all rather than behind. And then I managed to get away.
I think you find, well, especially in this tournament and in the other big events, that the deeper you go into the events, the break is magnified even more, isn't it? Because, people do start clearing up off your dry break, and like you say, you just don't get a go, and it's you're under pressure.
Yeah, I do feel like even though Jeremy is a good player, I do feel like if I'd have played, one of the real top players there, that
could have been in trouble.
The match would have got away from me, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was quite fortunate. But I'll take it.
Definitely.
Still going.
Have you always been someone that struggled with your break, even when you were sort of playing years ago and playing to a really high standard?
Yeah, I never remember it being. I never remember it being consistently good. If I ever did well at the tour, guarantee that I broke well that weekend.
I think you have to, don't you? It's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just free frames, aren't they? If you can knock a few break finishes in during the match,
yeah, definitely.
It all adds up nicely at the end.
I'm definitely in the same boat. Always been a thing I've struggled with. And then you look at people like Cousins and the Mick Hills of this world who just seem to get a ball or 2 or 3 balls every time, pretty much, or it seems that way. And tends to be the difference between sort of tournament winners consistently and perhaps the rest of everyone else.
Yeah, but there's a bit of luck involved as well, isn't there? I mean, you can
hit them absolutely brilliantly in pot one, and then the white gets kicked in off.
Yeah, or they just come out a bit clustered sometimes.
Yeah. As we're talking, Karl's taking these out nicely, and that will be 1-0 to Karl.
Yeah, I think David's got to take his chances.
I'll keep everybody up to date with the other matches that are going on around the table, around the other tables. There's some big matches going on. Tony Halpin is currently 2-1 up against Darren McVicker. Gav Robinson is 1-1 with Sean Story. Jamie Graham 1-0 up against Daz Lightfoot. Brian Halcrow 3-0 up against Paul Riley. And Paul Riley was the chap playing Rob Warren last night for £4,000 on the stream table. That was a money match that they set up. And Paul Riley played really, really well in that match. Hardly missed a ball, won quite comfortably. But he's 3-0 down against Brian Halcrow, who's been in a good patch of form recently. He got to the semi-finals of the last big tour, the IPA tour. So he's obviously playing very well, full of confidence. Mick Hill is currently 2-1 up against Mark Asprey on the match arena table. And Liam Dunster is currently 0-0 with Matthew Schofield. So as I say, I'll keep you up to date with these matches as they go along, as well as what's happening on this table. So you always seem to come to these events, Lee, with your other half. Is that something you've always done? Is she into pool?
She quite likes watching, actually. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
A lot of people have said to her, it must be painful at pool tournaments all day, but she doesn't mind it at all. She likes watching the top players, and funny enough, I don't know why she likes watching me as well, but
well, it's obvious. She's your number one fan, supporter.
Yeah, well,
brilliant.
Yeah, she's my only fan. She tries to keep me calm when it's unraveling.
Yeah,
so,
that's good, isn't it? It's good to have someone there supporting you and giving you some words.
She never always used to come. When I've got 3 boys, and when they were younger, obviously it was harder. But now they're at college, university age. It's obviously a lot easier. We can go away for the weekend.
Yeah, it's good. Make it a bit more fun and
It's just she needs to book the Fridays off work, so obviously she can only do so many with the holidays. And she likes to come along. Yeah, it's good. So another decent chance here for Dave. Let's get his first frame on the board. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, nicely controlled shot.
Yeah, that definitely could have gone a bit wrong, but
certainly all of these types of finishes where it's all about getting in the right area. You've got a certain area where you're perfect. It's just keeping that white ball under good control. It's the key to taking these sort of finishes out.
It's amazing how you can just land the wrong side of a ball when it looks straightforward, and then it just sort of comes apart from there.
Yeah, every shot seems to get harder and harder. See, that was a prime example. He still should be fine, but there was no problem with him screwing onto the other red, for example, and then just dropping it in, dropping this one in.
Yeah, just screwing past the yellow.
Yeah,
it did look quite straightforward, that. Obviously, if he catches that yellow half ball, quarter ball, he's good, but I agree with you. I just don't think he had to. He needs to miss it, or even better, he's just flicked it, which I think was better than missing it.
Seems to be doing quite a bit of travelling with the white, which is never ideal if you can help it.
No.
Just needs to control this one well.
I think it still goes.
I think he's okay, isn't it? It goes to the bottom right, I think. I know a lot of people that I've spoken to have said that this table plays extremely quick. Perhaps not quite as quick as the arena table if they've played on that one as well, but in comparison to the other tables, really, really quick. Maybe that's just catching Dave out a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit of early match nerves as well. Just
not getting through the white enough.
Yeah. So I've seen your scoreline was quite comfortable, 11-2.
Yeah, definitely flattered me. I don't think Mark really got off to the best of starts, and fortunately for me, I pretty much took out any chance that I had, which was great, and got me confident to start with, and then from there just sort of protected the lead, and it was just one of those matches where everything seemed to go as I wanted it, and nothing seemed to go right for him.
He missed a few, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It wasn't though. It wasn't even though. It wasn't him playing bad as such. It was just that the little nudges and cannons that would normally probably go right for him, they weren't. And yeah, unfortunately for him, unfortunately for me, it was.
And as always, when you're behind, they always seem to go bad, don't they?
They do, yeah. And he even said it himself. He's sort of 6-0 down or whatever it was, and he was chasing it from there and pushing finishes when they probably weren't really on. And as you know, it's so hard in this game to come back from a big deficit, because you not only have to break well and take all your chances, you also need to rely on your opponent missing and breaking badly.
Yes.
So dry break from Dave. Not left him great.
No, not the easiest, are they?
I think sometimes in these positions, do you ever think, oh, I'll just put the white on the cushion and say, have a go to your opponent,
Yeah, I do sometimes, yeah. Because I don't like trying to push the boat out myself too much, just the way I play. So, so if I can see an option of getting a suit and maybe being in a decent position, then yeah, I'll do that.
Take that, play the percentages.
I think he's not quite got on the ball he wanted to be on there. I think he wanted to be on the right hand side of these bottom three to develop the other two. So
can he see enough of the yellow to the left hand side of the bottom left hand pocket to actually put it in over the hole potentially? Don't know if he can.
I'm not sure he can either.
No.
From where he's looking with his cue, I'm guessing he can't. He's looking at
potentially playing a dump shot or something.
Yeah, be set over to you, Dave.
Yeah.
Pick the bones out of that.
Dave playing this one potentially down to the bottom right hand pocket. Doesn't want it to go in, I wouldn't have thought. And it's a very good shot. Yeah, really good shot. Number of options for Karl here. He could potentially play a skill shot if he wanted to. It's very aggressive. Yellow into the right hand middle as we look at it, and cannon the red that's over the bottom right hand bag. It's one risky shot, but looks like he's screwing into it, is he? No.
Not sure whether he tried to play that or not. I'm guessing he would have done, but he wasn't very close.
No.
I think that's the thing with Karl. I've not seen a lot of him, but from what I have seen, he'll probably always be looking for the aggressive option.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's the slightest chance of a finish, he's going for it, isn't he?
It's like now he's looking at trimming this one in the middle and coming off about 4 cushions to leave himself on the skill shot.
Yeah, rather him than me. Blimey, this be some shot. If I'm ever playing a skill shot, I want to be 6 inches behind the object ball and straight. Yeah.
Oh no, the double and
some
just
effort,
3 cushions.
That is some shot.
Tremendous. And then I think he's looking at looking at a skill shot and then a 3-ball plant. I'm not sure I'm worthy to even commentate on this.
No, I'm leaving, I think, in a minute, especially if he gets it. confidently played. That's 2 excellent shots to keep this going, and he's going to need another one. Here we go.
Oh, he's unlucky, the red.
He's been
unless I
very
get the one
unlucky
over
then.
the corner, but yeah. The red going over the middle there, sick. So he's got to play another good shot now to get.
Yeah, he's gonna pot the yellow into the bottom left, stun across, twice across. I would have thought twice across the table.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless he can dig in enough, I don't know.
Looking at the TV screen and looking at the table, the angle looks slightly different, but yeah, I don't think he can just screw down, can he? He's got to come across.
I just think by going across, you can play it with a lot more confidence. Or maybe
what's going on here? I think he's looking at another double.
If he takes these out, this is, I know it's early on, but it's will hurt.
Oh dear.
And that's always the worst thing for a player when you've done so much hard work in the frame to leave your last ball or your second to last ball. Snooker, you know the frame's pretty much over unless you get extremely lucky.
What do you think? Was he coming to come low there and then cut it in the middle? Do you think was that the plan?
I don't know.
Didn't really think of that shot before he played it. And I don't think that's any good.
No, I think Dave, if he can't play it direct, can easily swerve it. These are actually obviously the positions where, as a player, you feel most comfortable when someone's got 1 or 2 balls left. It's a nice position to be in. You can take your time.
Yeah.
And
he didn't need to go for them, did he?
No,
He's just
exactly.
developed his problem. And I mean, I'd be amazed if he doesn't get another shot. He's looking at coming off 2 and cutting it in the middle.
This is a very low percentage.
Yeah, incredibly low. I think that's probably the self-confidence of the man, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's actually looking at that shot.
Definitely. So Tom Cousins won 11-10 earlier on against Declan Brennan. That was a brilliant match. I watched quite a bit of that one. Tom was 8-3 down, and Declan, who I think is the guy that recently beat Seb Webb for money.
Yeah, last weekend.
Looked really, really steady player. Very, very good break. But Tom obviously is one of the best and managed to come through that 11-10, so that's a great win.
Yeah, Deck will be sick there. He had a go at the black to win. It wasn't easy, but he didn't get close, to be fair to him. He'll be disappointed.
He's not very old either, is he? 20? Is he 20s? 25?
He was.
He's hit it.
Not second prize. Yeah, he's not. No, I think he is just mid-20s, yeah.
Definitely a player for the future.
Yeah, snooker back. He's come from a snooker background, like
you can see that with his queuing, definitely.
Yeah. I've played him a couple of times. He just doesn't miss much. Takes them out with ease most of the time.
Yeah. Some other matches that are currently going on from the previous session. Gareth Higgins is 9-8 up against Mark White. Rich Wharton 6-2 against Sanjay Patel. I think that's this session. John Rose 5-all with Ian Alley. Josh Kane is 7-6 up against Michael Rhodes. Scott Ross is 4-1 up against Yannick. Nick Hill and Mark Asprey 2 apiece. Jake Dillon Newlove is steaming ahead, 6-1 against Alex Bailey. And Neil Rayburn beat Seb Webb on the stream the last session, 11-3. So pretty comfortable win for Neil, who's again another one who's been in brilliant form recently.
Yeah, top quality, isn't he?
Yeah, so solid and so much experience. I think he's still probably only early 30s, but seems like he's been around for forever. He's a great player.
Oh, that's gone a tad awkward, hasn't it?
Right behind it, he shouldn't have any problems. It actually, it's not even that thin. Looks thinner on the screen.
Yeah, no danger.
So 2-1 to David,
Yeah.
and sort of edgy start, you would say, from both players. Obviously, it's their first match. First match always tends to be the most difficult.
Yeah, one good missed opportunity each, really, and
Yeah.
obviously he's pulled out some really big shots, like you said there, to get himself in a good position, and then snooked himself last ball. So I'm sure he's forgot about that already. The kind of character he is.
Here we look at Karl's break off, straight down the middle. And as you can see, he didn't come straight back, so he obviously lost quite a bit of power on that break. And
they've split well.
They have split well. I think I would be probably going reds here. Well, there's an option for both, isn't there? There's an argument for both, but I think reds are probably the easier.
Yeah, I was thinking if the yellow in the middle of the top cush goes into both pockets, then
Yellows are just as good.
then,
Yeah. This is these are the types of frames that you just cannot afford to miss, because in all honesty, they're all there. Yeah, as again the triangle's moved as he's played the shot. Luckily, it hasn't deviated the ball, but what we were talking about earlier about just getting that triangle off straight away. And I don't think anyone's had any objection to me. I just get my chalk out and say, look, I'm just going to, and everyone's fine with that. They do it as well. So really, there's no problem with doing it straight away.
Yeah,
unless there's 3 or 4 balls on the triangle, then you can, but you just get a ref over then.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I asked Jeremy in one frame, and he literally just picked the ball up, moved the triangle, and put it back down again.
6 inches from where it was.
It actually didn't really make much difference whether it was a few mil out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just mark it, make sure it's back in the right spot. There's no dramas.
I think at the end of the day, we're all playing the same game. We're all playing honestly, and there's never any issues really. So this is the key shot, I think, now coming up.
He's looking at coming. Do you think he's coming off the top cushion and just
check side,
bumping into that one to leave himself on? Oh,
wow.
And he's forgot to pot it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine he's concentrating so hard on playing it with check, kissing the red full, and he's forgot to pot the ball.
Yeah.
I think, like you were saying, they're the opportunities that you've just got to make sure you get. Cause
well, the thing is, it's a race to 11, which admittedly is quite a nice race, but he's 3-1 up there.
Yeah.
Just by playing just concentrating and taking perhaps a second more time. What's he done there? It's all happening.
He might have just got away with that.
Yeah, it's all going on here at the moment, but yeah, because missing those sorts of chances, again, it's all mental in any game like this, and it does eat away at your confidence slowly but surely, doesn't it? And your next chance, you're sort of under more pressure, and then it builds and builds, you know.
That's the way I feel. Yeah, I know a lot of people are different, and they can just brush the mistakes off very easily. But I just think, like, when you're 8-all at the business end of the match, sometimes it just comes into your head. Them two finishes you had in early in the game, and you're thinking, oh, it could easily be a comfortable position here, and you just put more pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
I think he's played that pretty well, has he? Yeah, it's a good shot.
Very good shot. Dave's put his hand up there. I don't know what for. I would imagine, unless Karl thinks he can easily get on a ball to then develop the awkward yellow and red, he'd be looking to play a similar shot to what he did last time.
Yeah, but also I'd quite like to have left that yellow there as well, because it looks like it went off the red. But
yeah, I definitely think he played for an angle on the yellow closest to the two reds here, and he's just overhit it.
Can he just run this through a bit and then cut that one in the middle and go into it? But then obviously
the problem with that
might
is,
not be on a lot.
Yeah, can go wrong, can't it? With your ways, he can play the yellow, develop off the red, and then be on choice of 4 yellow. But we'll see.
Might be trying to get on that other ball again off this.
I do like that shot in the respect that he could play this dead weight or reasonably, doesn't have to play it too hard, and he potentially is on the yellow into the middle.
I think if you go cushion first, you're probably gonna. I think he's a bit fortunate, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if he'd have gone cushion first with a white, you're probably kicking the yellow over towards the other corner, which might give you another option. But
he's just gone to them.
that was a wide, but he probably knew he wasn't. Probably knew he wasn't leaving anything anyway, unless he's got a plant off the yellow.
No,
that doesn't.
surely.
No, that doesn't look on, does it?
No.
Maybe he's just happy if he gets it in front of the yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at.
I think you'd take that.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever he does, just make sure that he needs to call it if the yellow isn't frozen, otherwise he's got to hit a cushion with either the red ball or the white.
Oh, he's double kissed.
So another chance now for Karl, and you wouldn't expect him to make a mistake from here, really.
No, not someone of Karl's class, no. He's just making sure he's going to pick the right route.
Yeah. If anything, he wants to be where his tip is and perhaps a bit further down so that he could just play the yellow and come back across for the yellow into the right hand bottom pocket, but we'll see where he lands. Oh.
I can only think there he's tried to come round the back of the yellow towards the middle of the table. So that could have could have gone a bit wrong. This one needs some care. It's not a gimme.
I think he just drops this in, really. He should just drop it in and trust his cueing on a straight black.
Yeah, you called it.
This is a tester, you know, it's a 10 out of 10 shot really for someone of this guy's ability normally, but early on in the match, that's what can happen. Never miss that in practice, ever. And
no, I agree. He probably wouldn't do.
I think again, it's one of those things that it was a finish that he knows he shouldn't have been in. It shouldn't have been difficult for him. The first shot went wrong, and then again, it's perhaps in the back of his mind as he's playing the black. It really is like that. This game, it's all in your head. A lot of it. What is going on?
Wow, I thought he was going to knock the black in for a second there.
Would have been some skill shot.
This is difficult.
Yeah.
Do you play it off the red so you can hold, or do you just go the up and down? Oh, off the. Is that?
He's got a shot.
Off the jaw, and it looked like it even checked back a bit as well off the cushion to get him a bit nearer. Again, this is really
tough, isn't it? Yeah.
I think this looks easier on the TV than it actually is.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, he's gone for the full length double. I'm not convinced that was a shot.
Just to let you all know, this isn't an exhibition match. But,
there's already been more exhibition shots played than I've played in my life.
So it's 2 apiece. That's more like it. Great break. But again, it's not easy. If he wants to go reds, he's got a red that's tied up down at the bottom right. Doesn't look like he can play a yellow directly, anyway.
No, it's definitely very annoying when you've got one suit better and you can't pot one first shot.
Yeah. I think if this is me, I'm cutting this one in and landing on the red as he into the middle, left-hand middle, as we look at it, and then trying to develop that red potentially. Try and get into it as early as you possibly can.
That will
Lovely
do.
shot, yeah.
That'll do, donkey.
Sign of a really good player is trying to develop their awkward ball straight away.
Because he had the option of being on it, and also he knew there was a strong chance of him having this long straight one or the red near the top right corner.
Always giving himself options. Just needs to cue this one well.
Oh, Dave. I'm quite surprised he didn't just try and stun that in.
Yeah,
so I mean, just hit it with a bit more conviction.
Yeah, because I think the way he played it, and with what's gone on in the last 4 frames, he played it as if he's sort of hoping it goes in rather than he would normally punch it in, you know. So maybe still feeling it just a little bit, which is understandable. It's your first match, but there's a couple of chances now that he's let go. Easiest game in the world when you're commentating, as we all know.
Oh yeah. I'd be going, if I was Dave now, I'd be putting myself through the ringer out there, knowing you've missed a couple of chances already and you had the opportunity to have a...
Giving yourself a right telling or something, yeah.
You know, it's important to get off to a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just builds your opponent's confidence as well when he sees you missing chances.
Yeah. I think you should be in your chair, Richard, trying to zone in even harder and saying, right, you know, no more. You know, your next chance, you're going to take your time. You're going to make sure of them, because otherwise, as you say, your opponent just gets stronger. Although that,
I think he might just still be okay.
Just on it,
yeah, I think so.
I can't see and what he's doing after this shot, though. Perhaps here we go. Yeah, perhaps the yellow off the red.
Cushion red and in. Well, he's got the pocket, but as we know with black ball, it can mean very little.
Dave's not hit it, is he?
Do you think he's just gone far enough to screw over or not? It looks pretty straight, doesn't it?
Possibly hammer it in and
Force
manufacture an angle. We'll see.
Oh no, double whammy enough as well. It never rains. So very good chance here for Karl to get 3-2 in front.
Yeah, he'd just bump out his awkward yellow, you'd have thought, and that should be all she wrote for this frame. Maybe just bump the red. I don't know. It's many different ways you can do this, but
yeah, I think if that yellow goes comfortably in the middle, which I think it does,
no problem. Just drop
running,
on the red.
Yeah.
He's going a different way.
No, but what do I know? Maybe he's just left that red there because it's probably a bit negative, but maybe because it's, you know, it's in a worse position if there than if he bumped into it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people go on about the right patterns and everything else and the right shot selection, but it's never a wrong shot if you clear them up or if you take them out. So
true, and sometimes when they're like this, there isn't necessarily a wrong order, is there?
You can overcomplicate it, can't you?
Yeah.
Overthink it.
Yeah, he's tried his best to leave it awkward, but I think he's just okay.
He's keeping us entertained.
Oh, wow. Well, that is in the middle of nowhere. So this one needs queuing. Oh dear. Well,
just straight down and hit that. If anything, why don't you just cue it and drag it, you know, play it with dead weight so that, I don't know. He's played it positively, isn't he? So.
Yeah, it's probably the way he plays, isn't it? He just probably thought he couldn't miss it.
Yeah. Quite honestly, Dave should be 4-1 up here, or could be 4-1 up.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying about, you know, they can come back to bite you, can't they, at the end of the match?
Yeah.
Well, it's a decent hit, but don't think it's going to be good enough. So a good chance here now for Dave to get 3-2 in front. And he's left that bad angle, I think.
Yeah, he didn't want to be straight, that's for sure. And I think he is bullet straight, almost. Phil Harrison 4-all with Darrell Whitworth.
I don't know Darrell. Do you know
Yeah,
Darrell?
he's yeah, I do. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know that he used to be a decent snooker player. He
Right.
may have even been on the Pro Tour for a
Okay.
season, so he can obviously play.
Yeah, obviously. So another missed opportunity there for Dave. I think confidence is going to be through the floor if he doesn't start taking some chances soon.
Yeah.
He's probably wondering how he's behind in this match.
I think Karl's doing the right thing, actually. He's just popped off to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing you can do after those 5 frames. Just try and compose yourself.
He knows he's fortunate.
Yeah.
Let Dave stew on that for a bit in the arena.
Yeah.
And looking at some of the other scores, I mean, they've only been playing an hour and a half, and Josh Kane and Michael Rhodes at 8 each.
Ian Alley 8-7 with John Rowe.
Yeah.
Wow. That's 15 frames.
I know.
16 frames with Josh and Michael in an hour, isn't it? They're obviously doing the right thing, though, playing it as if it means nothing.
I think they've only put 2 hours on the car parking, so they're getting a move on.
Jake Dillon Newlove 9-1 up against Alex Bailey.
That's as comfortable as it gets. Ian Alley's just gone 9-7 up, so they're up to the 16 frame mark now as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a 2-2. Liam Dunstan, Matt Schofield also 2-2. So they're not all break and finishes.
No.
Got some great matches in the 5:30 session coming up as well. John McAllister, one of the informed players at the moment, against one of the informed money match players at the moment, Simon Fitzsimons.
Yeah, that promises to be a very good match.
I think that'll be quick fire. Ben Davis, Jordan Shepherd. I don't think there'll be too many tactical frames in that one either.
No, definitely not.
And someone from your neck of the woods, Jez Graham, playing the legend Darren Appleton.
Yeah, that'll be a great match for Jez. I know he'll be really up for that. And yeah, he'll be looking forward to that match.
He's very good, Jez, isn't he? When
he's a very good player, yeah.
Yeah, when he's on.
Yeah, he's tactically really good. He's not slow, but he's methodical, you know. And he's been around a long time, you know. He's played the game to a high level for many years, so certainly not an easy match for either player.
No, definitely not. Be interesting to see how Darren gets on again, obviously, because he's still mixing in his American pool with this game, so he can't have had too many days practice before this event.
No.
I think he was still in America on Sunday, Monday,
around
that time.
Yeah, that was for the World Series, was it?
Yeah, the Chris beat Jason in the final, didn't he?
Yeah. Who would you pick out of Simon and John McAllister if you had to?
Well, I would probably, as much as it hurts me to say, because Simon's a mate, I'd probably just give John the edge just because of his form. But yeah, I don't think.
Simon will definitely be on a high after his good win against Shane the other day.
He should be sharp. He'll have been practicing a lot for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in good nick. But yeah, Simon very capable of beating anyone in the field, especially with it being black ball rules this weekend as well. Definitely suits his game better. So obviously, people have still got to play to the form, but I think if Simon plays well, it'll be a close game. So once again, Dave's got an excellent chance here for the frame. Just needs to bring this white back to around the bolt line, and then it shouldn't be too much trouble. I think he's just undercut that slightly, but it should still be okay. It probably looks like he's going to come through the gap for the red by the black spot. And if that holds up, yeah, that's a nice little touch on the yellow there, which left it about as straightforward as it can be now. So, oh, nearly went too far.
Yeah, but this will be just what Dave needed after last few frames. He knows he should be in front, and this is a nice clearance, so
yeah,
get a little bit of that confidence back.
Really important he stays with him. He's not at the best of starts, but
no, I think Karl's definitely a good front runner as well, isn't he? So. I must admit, I love playing on these tables. I don't know what you think of them, Lee.
What, on these tables as in this
how,
club?
Yeah, just how quick they are, and I really like them.
So far, yeah, they've been great, yeah. I mean, there's always a bit of a debate, isn't there, about the green cloth, blue cloth. I think as long as the cloth's pretty new, I don't really think it matters. I understand if you only practice on a green, then the blue feels a bit strange and vice versa. But I think if the cloths are new, they both play well.
I was going to say, yeah, for personal, having played on both, I don't mind. I've got no preference as long as it's a new cloth, a reasonably new cloth. Like you say, they all play really well.
Yeah.
And their level, that's all that you can ask for.
Yeah. This is event 3 now, isn't it? I mean, I must have played a dozen matches. I may had one or two roll-offs. That's it, you know. But you can't really
bad
grumble
ratio,
at that. They certainly keep on top of the tables. Yeah. It's just really been the heat, really, that I've found in here.
I think the last event, the heat everywhere though was just ridiculous, wasn't it? And certainly he was pretty sticky. And there's nothing worse than your cue that you can't cue properly, and you're forever wiping down your cue and everything else. It's not ideal.
Yeah,
this morning was
really
absolutely
close.
Perfect, if you ask me, in terms of conditions, because it was nice and cool, and I think that's probably.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I did think that with having a 10 a.m. draw, I thought, the room will be quieter and it'll probably be a bit cooler. I remember the Friday night at the last event was God almighty, it was horrendous. It was like a Turkish sauna. I thought someone was going to hand me a towel when I walked in.
Yeah, it was about 40 degrees outside as well.
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, that doesn't help me. Yeah.
Go outside for a bit of fresh air and it's even hotter. But yeah, that's the problem when you get so many people in the same small area.
Yeah. The main arena's good. I did play one match on that at the last event, and I never had to wipe my cue once in the match. It was just perfect.
Did you say it's a totally different atmosphere, though, isn't it? Because it's a wide open space, and
it's the same size room, but there's only one table in there, so there's no one in, and obviously there weren't too many watching me as usual. Oh, and that's a careless one from Karl. Now the white is in the middle of the triangle. Will Dave move it for once or not?
He has to move it, in my opinion. I can't believe it doesn't put him off.
No, it don't bother him. Amazing. amazing.
Fair play to him. I mean, I couldn't do it, but
Just when it's so straightforward. Oh, now there's nothing on it. He moves it.
This finish is going to take some working out though if he's going for it.
Yeah, he's just looked at this bottom corner. I don't know. He's trying to try and get the white behind the yellow here and then play. Yeah, he's going to cut that along and try and move that red out of the way.
He needs to play this with plenty of power so that the red clears. Decent pace. Yeah, nicely done. If anything, he's been slightly unlucky. Could have landed better.
It's very awkward. That yellow behind the black's
Yeah.
difficult to get on.
Is there any value in actually just playing the yellow over the bottom bag, potentially? Try and keep the white, on the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah, I think, obviously...
You don't want to leave him a chance to play a skill shot or...
No,
I don't know, actually.
I'd fancy him getting a skill shot.
Yeah.
I think, he's actually looking at trying to land the white.
So he can actually pot the yellow.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, well, if I get the pocket, it's not too bad. But like you say, you would fancy him getting the skill shot if the yellow's right over the pocket. We've finally got a comment in the chat, Greg. I thought we were the most popular people on the tour.
Who's it from?
Matthew Tyrrell, come on, Deej.
Get on, Matthew. So he's actually... If it's gone wrong, I think.
Yeah, Karl can... I think the bottom red goes, but that's a bit thin and no value really. But the middle red looks like you could play cushion, move the yellow, get the pocket.
Yeah.
Didn't move the yellow, just got the pocket.
Yeah, and the red is far enough away from the lip of the pocket and close enough to the yellow to make it almost an impossible skill shot. So Dave's now got a couple of problems. It's not a bad shot, especially if the red closest to the yellow by the black doesn't go in the middle.
Yeah, if that red goes in the middle, then
it's not great.
Then that could be his last shot.
Yeah. He must. I'm sure he would have looked at that, but we'll see. Don't think it goes. Karl would have probably been down on this already.
So Matthew Tyrrell, this says he's watching all the way from Norway. And Martin Keogh, Mon now Carlo. So we've finally got a couple of people. It looks like someone's watching anyway. That's always good.
Yeah. As long as we can keep them watching, we don't mind our two or three viewers. So Dave may elect to play the yellow closest to the black and actually put it over the jaw of the middle pocket. That's what I'd probably be doing. So that you're sort of messing up the red, Karl's red, and keeping yourself in the frame.
Yeah.
It's a shot, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what else.
No, well, he hasn't got many options, let's be honest.
Thing is, if he can get it close to the middle and not leave Karl a direct hit on the red, he could then potentially use that yellow to cannon out his awkward yellow. But it looks like he's going for the pot and cannon.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
that
was really tough to do that.
That was tough, to say the least. That was a big shot. Unfortunately, not come out the way he wanted. So a good chance now, Karl to get 4-3 in front.
Yeah, and so far, pretty much every frame has actually not. It's not necessarily been won by the player. It's been lost by a mistake, and someone needs to start grabbing the match in a minute. Because I think whoever does is gonna win.
Well, if someone could do that from now on, they could win comfortably.
That's right. Yeah. I've been in this position many a time as a player. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. You're trying your absolute hardest to get things going, but just nothing is happening, you know, and nothing more frustrating. So anyway, that's 4-3 to Karl, and he's just off to a quick comfort break, and we'll be back with commentary after that. So Karl's back from his comfort break, and he'll be breaking off 4-3 ahead.
Taylor Richardson commenting on Dave's love of Nando's.
Big break that time from Karl.
Just a slight issue on both sets, isn't there, really?
Yeah,
I don't think the two yellows are an easy plan.
No, I think.
And obviously the reds are slightly awkward as well. Oh. I don't think them yellows plant, but it looks like the yellow nearest the pocket is further away from the cushion.
Yeah, the only way he could plant it is if he plays the yellow off the cushion onto the yellow, isn't it? But that's tricky.
Yeah. Maybe he's thinking it is obviously with where the reds are. If he gets the pocket, it's in a strong position. So
yeah,
he might be developing here, maybe.
Yeah, he actually looks like he's got a perfect angle. He's straight down, so he obviously has. Top of the ball.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's a real thin cut to play the plan, if that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And he's got to watch the white ball. It looks too thin, actually. From I can see the table from here, from the window. It looks too tight, but we'll see. He's just working out potentially where the line of the white ball's going to go afterwards. It's a free shot as long as he can keep control of the white and doesn't go in off, because if he does miss, then there's a couple of... It's all tied up, as it were, for Dave anyway, so we'll see what happens. I got it.
Well, it wasn't too thin, but you said he had to watch the white ball.
Yeah.
There was all sorts going on there.
It's come out reasonably nicely in that he can just play a cannon, or a plant, I should say, again, dead weight. He's not played that very well.
It's gone Pete Tong.
Yeah. The problem now is that he's going to do extremely well. He needs to find a gap to get on the last yellow. I don't think he can actually get there. So he's playing the plant.
He's playing the plant. He's playing the plant double.
I've called it. It's high tariff.
Incredibly.
Shot, to say the least.
I don't think he gets more high tariff than this. I mean, the yellow isn't even anywhere near the pocket, really. Move out of the way. Oh, he wasn't playing the plant. He actually played the double.
I'd like to apologise to everyone. What a shot that is.
It didn't even look like the double went.
Wow.
That is phenomenal.
That's an incredible shot. And the thing is, he took no time in deciding. He was like, well, this is in.
Yeah. It's just self-confidence, isn't it?
And just as we were speaking when it was 3-all, what's happened seems to be as we predicted. Whoever got that last frame would suddenly light up, and just took out that finish. So 5-3 to Karl. Incredible scenes.
Yeah, great shot making there.
Dave would have been sat there thinking, I'm coming back to the table, for sure.
Yeah, they hurt. So Dave has definitely got to up his game now.
Yeah.
I mean, 5-3 is obviously not too worrying, but it's just the chances that he has had in the match.
Yeah, and again, in the back of his mind, he probably thinks, why am I not 4-1, 5-2 up or something like that. So he just needs to get his mind positive and get himself back into the match.
Just what he didn't need.
And this is exactly what happens. It's almost like the game just says, nope, you've had your chances early on, you missed them, and now we're going to punish you. And these reds, or potentially yellows, don't look too bad. A couple of problem areas, but
I prefer the reds because they all go.
Yeah, and you can
obviously they're not straightforward, are they?
instantly should have a nice angle. I think of this one just to play the cannon. He knows he's going to be on another red, no problem. So just needs to work out the cannon nicely.
Oh, the dreaded double kiss.
Yeah.
So definitely work to do.
Yeah. The good thing about this is that if he can get himself into a position where he can play the cannon again or land on it, the last red that he'll play, which is the red on the left-hand side cushion, he only has to drop that down dead weight and he'll be guaranteed to be on the black. So it's just one good shot, either now or in a moment, to get the awkward red off. I'm not sure if that's it. Decided all he could do was make sure of the red. So I would imagine he'll be trying to land on. No, it looks like he's going to pot this red thin and play the cannon.
This was obviously the best case scenario for Dave when he sat out here. That is, the two awkward ones are still there with only 3 balls left. But he pulled something out last frame. And that's not any good, I don't think.
The thing is, if he played the land on the red directly, you've always got a shot.
Yeah.
Whereas playing the cannon, this can happen, can't it?
If he, yeah,
I
it
won't
can.
For 1 minute pretend I can tell, someone as good as Karl what to do, but in my opinion, that wasn't the right shot. So what's he got up his sleeve this time?
He's gone for the plan, cutting it down the rail.
Dave just needs to compose himself now, look at the table, take his time, and just make sure he gets the frame at all costs here. Cannot afford another mistake. Just the snooker coming up. Yeah, nicely done. You wouldn't think it would be too difficult for Karl to hit one of the reds. But
no, it's not a gimme though, is it? I
no.
mean, he could. What's it? Is he looking at coming off about 4 here and trying to get behind that red? Not too sure what he's looking at.
3 cushions. No, he's missed it. So Dave can now have ball in hand, and first shot is a free shot, so he can develop the awkward yellows if he wishes.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like Groundhog Day, but once again another good chance for Dave.
Yeah.
He really has got to take it.
Yeah, you feel he's got to take this frame because if nothing else, he needs to give himself a bit of confidence, something to work with.
He's just got to be careful with these 2 yellows down bottom corner. Yeah. I'm not sure how straight he can leave himself on the one nearest the pocket. And the plant doesn't look straightforward either.
No, it doesn't.
So
the problem he's got is, well,
when you've missed a few finishes,
yeah,
they start to look harder anyway.
Yeah,
I think.
He's got to be playing. Well, I don't know. Should he be playing the snooker again now? Because it's getting harder, isn't it, this finish?
Yeah, the thought did cross my mind, but I don't think he will. Right.
So it's key now that he.
Yeah, I think he's looking at trying to leave the top one into the right corner.
Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario. I think he's straight enough on this yellow to screw it back. But again, this is all about position.
Yeah, if you leave the angle awkward, then he's got to slow down.
He's played it really well, I think. Oh, don't know. Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Almost straight, yeah. I don't think he can just roll in. I think he's got to sort of punch into the other yellow, has he? Oh no, he could screw off the cushion, no problem.
Nicely done. I think he just, depending on his angle, can he just screw it directly up the table and leave the black for the bottom, or is he trying to get into an area again? He's gone for the area.
Yeah.
I like that shot because if he hit it, he could have played it into the middle, or he's got another pocket up the top. So it's good thinking from Dave. Just needs to cue this nicely now.
Yeah, well done, Dave.
Nicely done.
The match was starting to get away from him.
Yeah.
With the chances missed, but he's got them. That's all that counts.
Yeah. Held himself together well there, and that would give him a bit to work with. So only trails 5 frames to 4.
Another crunch from Karl there, but dry
Nothing
again.
down. Wow.
The reds look lovely.
Reds look really nice, yeah. about his route here, because if you plan it out in your mind, work your way back from the black. And then go for it. But let that one slip a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like it this side of the middle side of the red, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because this is thin now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes it harder to control the white ball.
I don't think he can just drop it in, can he?
No.
Oh no. Oh, he's dodged a bullet there. Wow, that kiss, I don't think that kiss could have come out any better.
No, that's landed absolutely perfect. Yeah, he's fine here.
So, excellent chance here now for 5 each, and it's game on.
Rack's moved again,
Yeah,
but
he doesn't
no
like
problem.
moving it, does he?
No. It's right on the corner. Oh.
Just don't bother him, it's
No,
just like he doesn't even see it.
No. To be fair, even though it's been moving sometimes, it's not affected any of his shots as yet, but each to their own. As I said, I'd just be too worried that it would affect a crucial shot.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
not affected it as in it's cost him, but it's definitely affected the run of the ball.
Yeah. But yeah, as Matthew has said, he's back in the game now. He certainly is, 5 apiece. He'll be feeling really good now. And if he can get a big break in this rack, then he could have a chance to go ahead for the first or second time in the match for Dave. I think I'll be going back to the hotel after this match, getting something to eat and resting.
Sounds like a plan for me, that. Back on at 8, so
Yeah.
just have a bit of something.
Chill out, bit of energy, and then get ready for tonight.
Important game, isn't it? Because I haven't actually won my first 2 games in the winner's side yet.
Okay.
So it obviously makes a big difference with the amount of matches you've got to win. If you do go in the losers tomorrow, it helps.
It's massive. I was fortunate enough to, I think I won my first 3 in the first event, and not only does it limit your matches if you do end up losing in the winner's side, but also it's really good because you get so much time in between matches to relax and sort of build yourself for your next game.
I don't think you play till 4 o'clock on the Saturday,
which is nice. So
great,
it's really, really enjoyable in terms of being able to just relax.
Nice
and
lie-in, late
you can
breakfast,
watch some matches and watch everyone else sweat it out. Exactly. So, yeah.
Oh, Dave, loose one again. Loose one again there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and these reds aren't that difficult for a player of Karl's ability. Just needs to keep control of the cue ball. Basically, there's no difficult pot on. So
think he's just got to work out when he's going up for the red
Yeah,
at the top.
yeah, that's a good point actually.
That's what I'm just thinking. What's the best option?
Yeah, because the red into the middle, he can't power it in because it could easily come out, or it makes it difficult. He could perhaps screw it back, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you said. He needs to get up for that red. Well, he just needs to make sure he's got a shot at some point to get up there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But
at the moment, I'm not sure what the right order is to go up for
no.
it. I mean, you could go up for it last. That's not a massive issue. Obviously, even if he's straight, it doesn't really matter. I think if you play the plant, the red's probably going to block the other red, and it isn't going to be right over the pocket, so you're just going to end up with another plant.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing the plant then. And
Oh, he had a bit. I thought the plant was a bit straighter than that.
That's not bad at all, I don't think. Or is it?
Yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of an angle. I don't know if you can just sort of force it with a little bit of right hand side and just go up behind the three yellows.
I think if it was me, I'm playing this with a bit of running side and landing on the red that I'm closest to first, because he's got a little bit of scope there in terms of the area he can be in and still get on the last red. Whereas if he puts all his eggs into one basket, he's got to get on the. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing about that shot is, I just think if you go up now, if you've got the angle, I think it's harder to go wrong.
Yeah, if he's comfortable and he's got enough angle, definitely, but it doesn't look like he has.
No, he's played your shot, but I think, I think he's perfect. But what I didn't like about that shot is if he did leave a bad angle to get on the other red.
Yeah.
David Hunt asking who's commentating. It's Devon's finest, Greg Batten.
No, Jason Twist, not him.
He's retired now. You're number one.
Devon's
now,
number 10.
And Lee Clough.
So Dave will be
ruining another missed opportunity.
Yeah, and there's been quite a few, unfortunately, in this match so far. Both these guys are quality players, but it's just the way the match has panned out so far. It's been quite a few errors from them.
Bit of first round edginess, we'll put it down to.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just looking at some scores from the other games, and Phil Harrison, who was the winner of the last event, is in a little bit of trouble against Darryl Whitworth. He's 8-5 behind.
Blimey.
Well, that was a boom.
Karl, I think, had got fed up with the previous breaks and just thought, stuff it, I'm going to launch it. And he certainly did that.
He did.
Fortunately, the harder you hit them, the harder it is to control the white ball.
Once again, another good opportunity. He's looking at playing the red that he's put the white behind, I think, onto the red and yellow to develop the only awkward yellow.
Yeah, it's a good shot to play. That's
it is
the right shot. You could say he's been a little unfortunate.
Yeah, he would have liked that yellow to go in that corner. I don't think it goes in that middle either, so
again,
he's going to have to get behind it at some point.
Yeah, again, I'd be looking at trying to do that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So actually he's perfect now. He can just screw this back 8 to 12 inches and he should be able to do that either the next shot or the one after that. You'd like to leave as many yellows on if you can.
I think he just quit on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did, because it certainly doesn't go into the right hand bottom pocket as we look, so he wasn't playing on this to stun across, that's for sure. It's not too bad. He can actually play this and get on the yellow that he's closest to with the white ball now. It's a natural angle, I think. He just needs to maybe play it with a little bit of check side.
I think he needs to check it, yeah.
It's just the problem with playing check side off of these slippy cushions is that the power, that it just dies as soon as you hit the cushion. All the pace is taken out of the white ball. You're almost better off rolling them in, and then the white seems to go further. But yeah, this is getting awkward now for Dave, and he's really got to take this out. Can't afford to go too behind it now that the match is getting on. And oh, is he going to land? Needs a big kiss. He's all right, I think.
Yeah, he's played it well. I mean,
yeah, it was a great shot. He had to land in a small area there, but this is not. This is another fairly difficult shot. Or he's going to leave the double, is he?
yeah.
Here we go then. Big shot now coming up from Dave. Yeah, confidently taken. Well played.
Lovely double, 6-8.
Yeah. Match is just starting to heat up a bit now.
Yeah, it is. Apparently we're biased. I may be a tad guilty of that, because I know Dave and I don't really know Karl, but...
Well, I certainly am. I'm not, because I don't really know either of them that well. Both really good guys as far as I know.
Yeah,
and
I'd agree with that. And they're both really good players.
Yeah, I couldn't care less who wins. So
I would edge Dave because I know him.
Because you know, yeah.
But you know, I'm not gonna hide that.
Yeah. Sorry if that's how it's come across, guys. We don't mean it to. And
I'm certainly not willing Karl to miss. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, massive break there.
Yeah.
You'd think if the yellow goes, actually again either set are fine, aren't they? You'd think, but I think I'd be going reds. Or would I? I don't know actually.
I think if that yellow didn't go, then maybe I'd take reds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he could probably.
In that situation, they were both pretty good, weren't they? So again, in these positions, it's all about controlling the white ball and making it as easy as you can. And that's nicely done. Got a nice straight red to the bottom corner, bottom left-hand corner, and he should be 7-6 ahead. I didn't look at the betting for this match, so I'm not too sure who was the bookie's favourite.
Yeah,
I would imagine it would have been probably slightly Karl.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Dave. I would imagine the bookie would have had Karl as a slight favourite for this game. But
I would agree with that. Yeah, he had a good run at the last event, Karl, didn't he?
Yeah.
He made the quarterfinals.
Yeah. So Dave just lining up the tip as to where he wants to play the last red. edge, or he can cue it nicely. A couple of options here. He could just stun off the cushion, leave the black for the bottom left, or he could screw it in, leave the black in the middle, however he feels best. Would have liked to have come 4 or 5 inches further, but this is a missable shot, so he's got to concentrate.
Tester, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, nicely done.
So nicely done there from Dave, and pulls ahead 7-6.
Just when it looked like he was struggling and it was getting away from him a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of dry breaks from Karl, and but as you know, it only takes one dry break for it all to sort of turn around.
Yeah, I don't think he's done too much wrong really to go behind.
No.
But this is where the missed chances stand out more, isn't it, when you get closer to the finishing line? I think once again he's been unlucky on the break again there. I don't think he hit them. Don't think they split quite as well as he's hit the last couple, but
no.
Sometimes you get one when you don't hit them as well, which is crazy, but not that time, unfortunately.
I think Dave has got a pretty comfortable plan. If he wanted to, he could play the red onto the yellow at the top right hand end of the table, pot the yellow, and then go yellows from there, potentially. Maybe there's other options, but
that will
maybe he doesn't need to do that.
I think if you're gonna actually go game on yellows, I think you've got to play that shot first.
Yeah.
It isn't too difficult of a plan, is
Guaranteed
it?
to be on the next yellow, pretty much.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you are in effect taking away all the obstacles straight away in the first shot. I tend to like it when you see a lot of the top guys getting rid of their problem ball or their problem couple of balls straight away if they can, because if they do miss or they do make a mistake, the other guy's still got quite a bit of traffic and everything else to get his clearance. So.
Yeah.
It looks like he's set on something else.
So it looks like he's going to take the yellow above the black, I'm guessing, with the fact that he's asked for that moved. Triangle move, yeah. So is he going to drop this in and then yellow in the middle and go into the red yellow, do you think?
Well, it seems to have landed like that, like it's almost shown him the route. You know, it's perfect to just stun this yellow in or a little screw back, and then I don't like the thought of leaving this yellow by the black last, really, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah, I am surprised he didn't take the plant first go, but
sometimes you don't see the shot, do you? And you're focused on something else. So it looks like he's gone with your shot, Lee, and he should be playing this now, screw into the red.
Yeah. You'd think that with the yellow over the top left corner, he should be on something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually, it's not too bad in that he's got another chance.
the plan and kick it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I suppose he's got something. Yeah. That looks pretty good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's okay, isn't it? He can yellow into the middle if he's got enough angle, just come off the cushion and then play the other yellow into the middle potentially. But I can't see from the. Has he got
No,
enough
I'm
angle to
not
play that?
sure whether he can or whether he just got to drop it in.
Yeah.
I think he thinks he got a bad contact. Yeah, he's asking for the white clean.
GGG 1992. When is Tierney and Cousins on? Could do with a laugh. I'm not sure. I'll have a look for you, mate, and let you know.
I think that'll be 8 o'clock.
Oh, will it? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Yeah, because they played in the second session, didn't they? They were in the 12:30 session. So the real number one against arguably the UK Tour number one,
Yeah.
Tom Cousins. Obviously, George will make out his big favourite, but other people might have other ideas on that.
See, Dave's not happy, but actually, it's not too bad. He can play the yellow into the bottom right, and he can go in between the gap with a bit of reverse side, and he should be able to come and get on the black.
You make it sound very easy.
It's simple watching, I know, but it's not as bad as it
But
first
you
looked.
won the equivalent of this event last year, didn't you? Was it this one?
Well, no, certainly not. Half the players that are in it today weren't in it.
I know the field's different, but but it was this one, wasn't it? The one with the bigger first prize.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I suppose the game is easy for people like you. So.
Yeah, it's all right when you're playing in a B grade tournament.
Well, I won't call it B grade. It was.
Well,
Was it? Was it no pros in them?
Yeah, it was a amateur.
Was there a UK tour restriction on that as well?
Well,
Because they're not classed as pros, are they?
I don't know. Petty played in it. He was arguably one of the best on the EPA tour when he was playing on there.
Was the likes of Harrison?
No, that's what I mean. So those guys weren't in it. So the top 8, I think it was, from each tour weren't allowed on it.
Right.
Which is why I'm saying it was.
Okay, so it was still strong then, yeah.
Yeah, still
very
strong. Yeah, but.
Yeah, Dave's snookered himself on the black and not hit it, so we're looking like we're going sevens. Can't see any issues here really for Karl. Every ball's in the open. Someone who you'll probably remember, Lee Anderson, has just messaged me about my Devon's finest comment. I think he travelled down to play you once, didn't he, about 5 years ago?
Yeah, he did actually. He back when he could play the game, he came down and we had a money match, and I think I was about 12 or 13 at the time. So no, I'm only joking. No, he played brilliant that night, and yeah, he beat me quite comfortably. So thanks very much for texting in, Lee. It's always a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, he's told me the story about that actually. Yeah, someone drove him down, and
I know what you're going to say. He got smashed the first evening. He was playing one of the local guys, and I think he told me he almost contemplated leaving because he thought, well, if this is the standard, I'm in trouble. But actually, it probably did him good because he broke like a demon, and it wasn't my home club. It was in Plymouth that we played, and I'm from Tiverton, which is about an hour up the road. But the guy that runs the club asked me if I wanted to go down and play the game, and I said yes. I didn't really know Lee that well, and yeah, took the game on, and I was beaten by the better player. So
Was there an issue with the cloth or something? I was trying to remember. There was a
well,
story.
it's a speed cloth.
But it was it quite worn?
Yeah, it was quite worn.
I remember him telling me. I think, I don't even think they were like new balls or anything. I think they said. I think I remember him saying he played the night before and he just couldn't control anything.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember rightly, he said he managed to get hold of some polish and give the white ball a good polish, so it played a bit more like a new white.
Ah, right, okay.
Just to give himself, I think, a bit more confidence on controlling the white, getting plenty of gear on the white when required. And
yeah.
And I think he played a lot better, didn't he?
No, he didn't tell me about the polish.
No, he won't do.
That's what happened then. He's ruined me with the polish.
Yeah, he's done you. He's done you with a Mr. Sheen, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no,
I think he's a nice lad, though. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think if you ask him for your money back, now you know that
he'd
probably
definitely.
give
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah. Now, as it happens, I ever since the game and everything, I've got to know Lee reasonably well and always got on really well with him. So yeah,
I don't really like him personally.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I'm only joking. No, we live in the same town. We actually play in the same Tuesday night team. Not that he turns up much.
Does he still play then, or not really?
Not a lot. No. He didn't even enter the our local. We have a singles league in Blackpool. He didn't even enter that this year.
Oh, okay.
He's still in the league singles though. He says he was hoping to play me in the final if we both get there.
Is that due to work and stuff? He's just not interested, or?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. He does work about 6 nights a week, so he's not really that interested at the moment.
Yeah.
He tends to only turn up for us on a Tuesday if we're short.
Ah, okay.
And the winner of the last event, Phil Harrison, just as he's just been beat 11-6 by Daryl Whitworth. So great result for Daryl there.
Yeah.
Phil goes into the loser's side.
Yeah, and he's this is the first round, so he's got a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
You'd think if anyone could do it, probably Phil's one of them, but
nice
tough
finish
task.
from Dave there. Yeah, but I mean, obviously with a slight change of format where it's straight knockout from the last 16, I think I think you've got to win 6 now on the loser's side if you go out first round where
instead
it was
of 8.
Yeah,
good point. Yeah.
So that obviously will help.
Yeah.
I think you have to win 5. I think he has to win 5 tomorrow and then 9 a.m. Sunday morning to get through to the last 16. Where it was 3 matches in a row Sunday morning you had to win.
Yeah. Brutal format.
Yeah, it was. I nearly did it myself at the last event, but
yeah, because you lost to Phil, didn't you?
I lost to Phil in the last game. Yeah, I played.
You beat Adam, I know, first
Adam
in the morning.
And Clint, and then Phil. I mean, to be honest with you, it felt like I'd got to a tour final, and that was just to get into the quarters.
Yeah, that's how hard it is, isn't it? Quite a few people now that have come in behind where we're commentating to watch these two guys.
Yeah, I think there might be a few accumulators running on this match, maybe.
Yeah.
They were trying to call in the dry break there.
And again, not one ball on a cushion.
Yellow's looking very nice, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, Yellow's
looks like a straight plant in the middle. Well, in fact, I can look through the window and it is a straight plant in the middle.
Yeah, and I think that would be my cue to say I favour Yellows, just the balls to go for. We'll see how Dave sees it. Dave just needs to make sure that he can land straight on the plant into the middle. And that's pretty good. Just play the plant, screw it back slightly. Yeah, so nicely controlled there. Just needs to cue this one well. And if he can take these out, that will be 9-7. I think he's okay in that he can cannon the red that the yellow's closest to, and the black does go into the top left-hand pocket.
Yeah, do you think he's just cannoning it, and
Is
as long as he doesn't
he's
just
not
slide by
yeah,
it?
that's what I would be.
Oh. Well, he obviously thought he was sliding by it, didn't he, to play it
Yeah,
that way?
yeah.
He's not left himself an easy black either.
No, this is tough now.
This is a big frame, this, to get two in front so close to the line.
Just got to commit to this shot and trust your cueing. He's missed it.
Overcut it, hasn't he? Not easy, but he'll be disappointed he's missed that, I think. Bit of work to do for Karl. Working out when and how we'd go into those two reds.
I think if it's me, I'm doing it on the second shot, because the two reds closest to the middle both go, so we could play red on the right hand side first, leave a nice angle on the bottom, red into the middle, and then play the cannon knowing that he's probably going to be on the other red in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's the best way. I think if you go into it off that red there, the angle, it's a big target, isn't it?
And you can go in with quite a bit of pace, and you'd be unlucky if you don't get them both out.
Yeah. Even if the red nearest the cushion stays near the cushion, I mean,
it's not the end of the world, is it? So. Alternatively, I don't know if the angle's there. You potentially could play the red that's closest to the right-hand bolt pocket, as it were. Swing the white round, but I don't know if the red in the sort of centre of the bolt line is in the way of that shot. To play the cannon.
Got to come round off two and go into it.
Yeah.
I don't personally like that shot.
No.
For this reason. And that's what I was
good
thinking.
Call. Good call. I mean, I wouldn't have. That's why I said the other shot first, because that way you're putting yourself under massive pressure, because you've got to cue it really well. And if you don't, like he has there, he's nearly gone in off.
And I think if he hits the bottom half of the bottom red, the white's going towards the corner as well.
Yeah.
I just think it was a very big target from the way you said.
Yeah, and there's no danger, is there, by playing it that way of going in off or anything. So he's chasing this now.
Yeah, he is, because he's not left an angle again, so now he's got to put another one.
Yeah. He's going to end up playing our shot next, I think, potentially, if he can screw this in the middle off the bottom cushion and back up again. But unfortunately, he's only then it's got to go right, isn't it? So. some of the 5 o'clock matches have gone on, or the 5:30 matches have started already.
He's left himself straight again, so he can't go into it. So it's last chance saloon, isn't it? I think. Here we go.
He's got the perfect angle.
Yeah, he's played it well, hasn't he? He's got a good full contact on it, so he deserved to be on something.
Yeah. Which red are you playing now?
That drop in the middle looks very thin, so if this is pretty straight, you just have to just a couple of stuns, isn't it? Yeah.
He doesn't lack any confidence, that's for sure.
No.
Didn't look twice at that one.
He is a good quality potter, isn't he? You know, he obviously backs himself to pot anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And as it turns out, it's a good finish.
Yeah.
And locked again at 8-all. So it's now a best of 5. And it's Dave to break. Needs a big one. Is it then? Well,
oh, balls flying in everywhere.
How good is it though as well?
He might be asking for the triangle move.
Yeah, for the first time in the match. I think yellows are definitely the balls that I'd be going for, and the first shot I'd be playing, looking at the angle he's got on this yellow, is playing for the difficult, or the most difficult yellow on the side cushion.
Yeah. It sounds like a plan to me, because if you get on it next, you've only got to drop it in, haven't you? And you're straight on the yellow in the middle, and it's straightforward. He'd have liked another couple of inches, but should still be all right.
Yeah, should be okay. And he's got the assurance that, you know, it's not an easy finish if he does miss, but he'll want to get this now. He's got to trust where he's aiming, commit to it.
Yeah, nice shot.
Nice shot.
So one decent bit of cueing here, just needs to get himself sort of back towards
middle spot.
Yeah, blue spot area would be good, which is pretty much the line he's on.
Yeah, he's played that well. Would you potentially drag this in just to ensure that you're going to be on the yellow?
Yeah,
Or
the only thing I don't like about it is the yellows are pretty close and the white's far away, and I'd be worried about leaving the line. Just, I know if you'd have played it harder, that could still happen, but
no, I think
I just like the fact that if the white was nearer the red now, then there was less things that you'd still been able to cut it in.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's obviously hit the yellow on the wrong side. He could have allowed for that by playing it further on the.
Yeah, I think
side.
your shot maybe was the right shot as long as you play it the way that you just said.
Yeah. As we know, it's so easy when you're just sat here watching.
Yeah.
So.
I think players like Dave and Karl are quick players. They just see things quickly, and obviously the first thing that they see, to keep in that flow, they just play that shot, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. We were talking earlier on in the match about, a couple of the missed opportunities by both players. To be fair, would it come back to sort of haunt them come the business end of the match? And that could potentially be one that slipped away from Dave because he'd set it up nicely, and it was just one decent shot he needed to play. And although let's just track back. I don't think he can.
I'm pretty sure he can see it, but
can he pot it? He could definitely play this with lots of drag and loads of side, get as much side as he possibly can on, because the black cuts into the middle, no problem.
Do you think he can, like, sort of?
Well, it depends how much he can see. I'm thinking he can see nearly full ball, can he, or not?
I don't think he can.
Oh,
He's looking at coming off. He's looking at coming off the cushion, isn't he, behind the red? Where he's probably going to have to get a lot of side on that as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, tremendous. Needs a bit of luck. Yeah. Well, he's got another long black. He's played that really well. That was a great shot.
This shot here is all about, trusting your cueing, isn't it? Trusting your ability.
Yeah.
Not quitting on it. And there you go. That's how you play him.
Lovely two shots there, yeah. I think Karl will be disappointed with his last shot there.
Yeah, I mean,
he was in a spot though, weren't he? Yeah, he didn't have a straightforward safety.
No, he didn't, but he could have definitely ensured the white on the right hand side, so that shot wasn't on potentially. But there we go. I think Karl's the type of player that it won't affect him. He'll just get down and smash the break again and go again. But it's getting pretty tight now towards the end of the match. Definitely can't afford to go dry now. You wouldn't think.
Oh my word!
Wow.
I mean, he didn't deserve to go in off anyway, because the white could not have gone any straighter up the table, could he?
No, exactly. It would have been a brutal in off. But actually,
you don't know it didn't go in though. In the end, it just seemed to get hit that many times towards the pocket.
But I mean, these are the types of finishes you want to leave at this stage in the match. Christ.
I'd expect Karl to make short work of these.
Yeah. These balls almost pop themselves, don't they?
I wish they did sometimes.
Taking his time on these, just making sure.
Yeah. Well,
all 20 seconds.
Quick fine finish.
They're just having a chat to each other. I think Dave said the white didn't want to go in, did it? And he's right. There was about 3 balls, pepper in the middle, and they all stopped the white from going in. So here we go, Dave to break. The last 3 breaks by both players have been absolutely massive. Although these have gone somewhat more difficult than the last.
I'm not sure if the yellow by the red bottom left passes, and obviously the black's not straightforward. The black does obviously just go in the other corner.
Yeah, but the red doesn't. That's underneath it, so that's another tricky section, isn't it, for him?
Yeah.
Potentially, is if the yellow by the red down the bottom left doesn't go directly, he could cannon into it off this first shot, yellow into the bottom right with side. Could he, or is it too thin?
Yellow bottom right. Do you know what you mean? Just sort of punch in.
Yeah, so just this one.
Off that one.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't tell on the angle really. He's tried to flick the black out, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, if this yellow goes, I mean, obviously you can't blame him for trying to flick the black out, but if this yellow by the red goes, and they're all there anyway, aren't they? It's just getting on that black. Maybe it didn't go. Yeah, I've just heard someone say, I was just thinking that the yellow by the left middle, it's going to send that red towards the red and black, isn't it?
It's not a bad shot.
It could make things worse. No, he's not played it like that anyway.
I like that he's played on this yellow now, though, because this is his only chance really of finishing, in terms of he can leave. What he's looking at is leaving the yellow in the middle of the table, play it up the top, and then getting on either the double, you'd have thought, or the last yellow up the top.
Yeah, if you can leave yourself, I'm not sure on his angle, but if you could leave yourself straight on the yellow up the cushion,
it wouldn't be too
reasonably
bad.
close. Yeah, you've probably only got to run it through a few inches, and you fancy getting the black.
Yeah. What a piece of cueing that was.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece of cueing. I think he's just off straight, which makes this, all you want in your mind in this stage is just pot the yellow, but he's actually got to work out getting on the black as well, isn't he? So.
And even if he was an inch the other side of straight, it's still okay.
Yeah.
But if he's going full into the red here, then he's got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really unsure. I think he's obviously worried about going behind the red if he just drops it in. And
I think he's got too much.
He's looking at playing it off the red. Oh my goodness.
Well, that shot isn't on. I don't think it's on.
It's, you know what is, I always find that when you're watching on this monitor compared to looking at the table, though, it can be deceiving how far balls are from the pocket. But you may be right, Greg. That's why you're Devon's number one.
For God's sake.
Because you were right.
Trying to sabotage me on the stream here.
Other games still going from this session. Yannick and Scott Ross, currently 9-8 to Scott. And, oh, wow. Liam Dunster 7-6 down to Matt Schofield as well.
Don't know Matt.
No, I don't know him well. Yeah, I know he did beat Scott Gillespie at the last event, and Scott obviously won the first event, so the guy can play.
Yeah.
Off the red?
Off the red.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. He's tried to...
It was such a big frame. Such a big frame. Chris Melling currently 2-0 down in the 5:30 session. Lee Washbrook, Craig Marsh not hanging about. 3 frames each already. Mark Farnsworth 3-2 down to Phil Malin. Karl Boyce 4-2 up against Ben Tanner. So 10-9 Karl and some practice. Bit of practice. 10-9 and breaking. Praying for a ball.
Yeah, not the white. I'm just praying for a bath, a hot bath or something. Christ, my back's in half.
So you're not staying at the travel lodge then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, hang on, what am I talking about? I can't.
There's no baths in there, is there? There's none in. I've never seen one.
Had a
Anyway.
mare there. No. Be a lukewarm shower then.
I don't think you'll fit in the sink.
No. I stayed at the Burr Arms once. Never again.
No.
Oh, God. Where are you staying? It's not
At
the Burr
travel,
Arms.
no, not Travel Lodge. Stayed at the Travel Lodge every time. You know what you're getting with them places, don't you?
Right, here we go then. Has he put the score up? It's 10-9, isn't it?
It's yeah, it's 10-9. He's not put the score on, has he? Ball in. It was a decent white, but it's gone into a slightly awkward position.
It's gone awkward, this.
I'm not sure. Can he get the red in the middle? I'm not sure he can. He's probably going to have to go for the red that's nearest the white. I think it cuts in the middle and it possibly goes long as well, but it's a tough shot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a little look at yellows. What's the plan on yellows then here? Is he cutting this in the middle?
I don't know what he's looking at.
Or is he looking at the plant in the other middle? Jesus. Oh, I'm not fully convinced it was the best shot, and if it was, I think he probably could have looked at it a bit longer there.
not at 10-9.
Yeah.
Crikey. Dave's just got to desperately try and hold his knickers together now. Get it back to 10-all, and then it's his break. one thing's for sure: whoever loses this match is not going to be enjoying the prospect of the losers' side.
No, they'll certainly be disappointed. They've had enough chances.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad miss, Dave. That is a bad miss. So another reprieve for Karl. That was very surprising. Pretty straightforward, that part.
Yeah, and the way he's left it, these awkward yellows on the side go easily off
They're
of
not quite as awkward as they look, are they? No, you've got a plant there with a big pocket. And then you'd probably play that ball again.
Yeah, because he can then get on the, choice of
No,
yellows.
yeah, maybe not now, yeah.
This is all but over now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for Dave and his supporters.
Start the car.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to feel for Dave.
Yeah.
He's tried his hard, it's just not been his day.
Just a couple of mistakes with a difference, I think.
Yeah. Congratulations to
Yeah,
Karl.
well done, Karl. Well played.
Thanks to everyone that's been watching, and yeah, we'll see you again.
Yep, thanks, bye.
Remember the black? Yeah, yeah. And then you went round and rattled it, and then you cleared up that. Oh, the white ball. Yeah. Sorry, actually, thanks very much. Nice to meet you. How do you? Thanks. Cheers. Yeah, pal, you alright? Oh, it does that. How you doing? Are you up there? Table's a bit hot. Top corner. Goes out. So just hit them harder. Sticky. Why is it made? My hands feel sticky. Yeah, to be honest, you know, I did halfway through that match, I went to wash my face with water, you know, came back out, and this cloth is full of polish. But I didn't know, like, I didn't think of that, so my whole face was dripping wet, right? So I was like, grabbed my towel in my eyes, right? Stinging like fuck. I had to wait for like 10 minutes. My eyes were just stinging like I fought off 2 breaks there. The second last round and the last round. Off 2 fucking breaks. Yeah, that TV tower wasn't broken. I've tried everything. I've tried cup breaking, centre, just on the side, that side, everything I've tried. And the only break then at the end when I was getting the ball was just dead centre. Yeah. Just screwing the white box straight back to the bottom. It's the only time I was getting the ball. The last two breaks. How are you? Yeah, not too bad. Some piss up after Christmas, was it? Yeah. Always the same shit. Some crack with that video on the Mustang. Oh, yeah. Cigars and